morning, thanks for coming. This is, it's great to see some people here from very far away, from Dunedin. Karitani's the furthest visitor, I think, or apart from the Italians, but they didn't come here by electric car, so
Buongiorno!
10 out of 10 for distance, but 3 out of 10 for effort. A few health and safety things. As you can see, this is still a working car park, so if you come inside the cones, that might give us a bit of a barrier of safety. I mean, I don't have to yell so hard. So yeah, this is working car park. We've just got this little bit area for the next 15 minutes. We've got a rubbish bin over there if anyone's got any rubbish, so we don't leave the place in a mess. We've got some first aid kits and fire extinguishers if anyone bursts a flame, and a couple of first aiders on site, so I think we're all right. If there's anything goes wrong, just use common sense, please. It's an outdoor public space, so treat it as such. And we've got the ambulance service over there, yeah. So the schedule today, we'll just have a few words. We'll have the official opening, open the ribbon, and we'll do some charging. There's some people here with pretty thirsty cars at the moment, they've come a wee way, and questions, and we might even be able to pinch a few rides in electric cars for those who are interested. I'd like to say a few things to start with. I looked up some statistics last night. 2014 there were 130 EVs, that's electric vehicles, in New Zealand. 2017 there were 2,000, so that's pretty good growth. But when you compare that against the 100,000 light vehicles that were sold last year in New Zealand, so basically all of those were electric, were petrol vehicles, I should say. It's only a drop in the bucket, and the 76 million new internal combustion vehicles that were sold in 2016. It's a tiny, the number of EVs around is tiny. So it's a very, very small proportion of the fleet, but it's growing. We at Network Waitaki, we think that's an important fact, that it is growing. It needs support. We're installing 4 chargers over the next few months. First one here, the second one's going to be at Hampton. Then we've got Kurau and Oamaru, and that'll give us a network around our region, which allows people to travel with these great little vehicles, and links in with chargers in South Canterbury and in Otago. We see this as being really good. There's a number of community benefits. Obviously helps the local EV owners through being free charging, at least for the time being. It's going to encourage people to travel through with their vehicles, which encourages tourism. And it helps New Zealand Incorporated by stimulating growth, hopefully, of EVs. Of course, we've also got the opportunity to support a couple of a local initiative with the Waitaki Safe Communities Trust. We've paid for the camera to go in here so that our users of the vehicle charger can feel a bit safer. We've also got engineering benefits. We're an engineering company, really. We have to supply power to everyone, and this is a very growing area of our load. We can see it getting more and more important as the years go by. We need to understand how the impact of these big chargers, the impact of small chargers, the domestic stuff, is going to affect our network. Can we supply these chargers? And when we're supplying them, what's that going to do to everyone else's power? So this is an important opportunity for us to learn about the engineering impacts of this gear. And over the next few years, we will be exploring a lot of different technical issues around new technologies such as batteries and solar as well. So this is part of an ongoing green tech initiative we're involved in. I'd like to thank Peter Knight, who's standing here, who's a project manager, the contractors and subcontractors who worked hard to get this in a fairly tight time frame. The Waitaki District Council, thanks Gary for turning up, especially the roading team, very instrumental in helping us pick the right spot for these units and smoothing the way for it. And the Network Waitaki board, a number of who are here today, for supporting our initiatives in looking at this green technology. So now I'd like to hand over to our chairperson, Claire Kearney, and then after Claire's finished, Gary, Waitaki Mayor, will have a few words, and then Claire will open the ribbon. So over to you, Claire.
Right, well Todd, thank you very much for that introduction, and I'd like to welcome you along on a sparkling day in Oamaru. It's like this always, believe me. Welcome Mayor Gary and councillors Jim and Bill. Yes, any other councillors here? No? I'd like to welcome our trustee members, and our board members. For those of you who are here with your electric cars, could you put your hands up please so we can, good. Thank you for the trip. We've got Waitaki, Oamaru, Fairley, and Dunedin, Alexandra. Right, so have a chat to them about their practical experiences using these vehicles. 5 years ago, the board of Network Waitaki were talking about technology, what's on the horizon, what's coming at us, what's going to impact on our business alliance company in a rural community. Electric vehicles were out there somewhere. They were going to happen, but we just weren't sure what it was going to look like. And here we are today, 5 years later, opening a charger in our district. So Oamaru has always been a pioneering town. We've got Victorian heritage, we've got 21st century technology, all within the boundaries of the town. And we decided to do this project as a way of contributing to the community, and also for us to learn about the technology and its impacts for us, to be able to provide a joined up network for users to give people a choice in their transport options. And Oamaru charging stations are key to that, and as Todd has explained, there's 3 further ones going into our district. So it's starting to link up with other areas as well to make it easier for owners to travel further distances with less anxiety. So thank you very much for coming along, and the next step would be Gary, for you to come forward and have a few words.
Thanks very much, Claire. Morning ladies and gentlemen, and just acknowledge our councillors. Thanks very much for coming along. To the board and staff of Network Waitaki, congratulations on what you've achieved here. It's the first step in a very interesting journey, which I think, like Claire has referred to, we don't quite know exactly how it's all going to go, but we're pretty sure it's going to go in a direction where we're going to need more and more of these charging stations. So, to our visitors from elsewhere who've come in their vehicles, thank you very much for coming along and being part of this. This is one of the reasons why we do have this, is to make sure that people who have electric vehicles not only feel welcome in Waitaki, as we try to make all visitors, but actually you can recharge and eventually, when you get the urge, move on to the next place. So thank you very much for coming along. The general direction of electric vehicles is an interesting one. You know, if the likes of Elon Musk has his way, we will all be driving them sooner rather than later, and it's interesting to see where the technology is taking us. For a country like New Zealand, which has so much renewable electricity energy, it is actually a really important possibility of how we can be far more self-sufficient and actually have a lower cost economy through that. So all of these things are the big picture stuff, but for today this has been a real win-win for the council, for Network Waitaki and the community. As Todd said, we've got a CCTV camera out of it. It's going to help look after this here, but it's also going to be looking after this area, which is one of the ones that we did want to get covered with CCTV. So from our point of view, that is a win-win, and obviously looking after the public is a very important thing. Anyway, congratulations Claire and to your team, and thank you very much for the initiative.
Okay, so
Robin.
right, now this is just open to all.
Pull away.
Right. Oh.
If the car was totally out of juice, could you still push that wet thing and flip the lid up to recharge it, or does it require
That runs off the auxiliary battery, so it's got a 12 volt battery in there.
So it'll always be able to be
Yeah, the auxiliary services run off the battery underneath.
Somewhere in that reaches history, the decision was made.